What's up, everybody? It's Big Shawn, and this is Shawn's Obesity Beatdown. Happy Friday, everybody. And you know what that means. It's weigh-in day. Man, I tell you what, every Thursday before weigh-in day is like the most anxious night of my life. I don't sleep well. I'm up and down all night long in anticipation for getting on the scale. It is a horrible feeling. Let me tell you. Um, so, I guess you guys want to know what the weigh-in is. So, last week I was at 440 pounds, which was 84 pounds lost. And today I'm at 438 for a 2-pound loss. That's great. I'm going in the right direction. I'm okay with that. I worked extra hard this week. I wasn't able to be in the gym because I was getting over being sick. So I think I would have lost, considerably more if I would have been able to get into the gym. But 2 pounds is nothing to shake a stick at. That's 2 pounds in the right direction. That's 2 pounds towards freedom. That's 2 pounds towards my goal. I've had a rough week, guys, emotionally. I've got the meal plans down pat. I've got the dealing with the hunger and things like that, and I've got all the issues with the restricted calories and the diet side of things under control. That's kind of routine now. But I didn't anticipate the emotional stress and attack on my psyche well-being, I guess. It's been rough. My uncle's very sick, and I visited him this week, and he was in a little bit of pain, and he's lost a lot of weight, and it's really, really tough to see. Cancer's a motherfucker, guys. It's a motherfucker. And you never know when it's coming for you. You may be one of the lucky ones to get out of this life without having to experience those horrible issues, horrible pains and poisons and things that they put in your body. But I'm sure that it's affected every one of you directly. And right now we're going through a tough one. My uncle's very sick. And it's hard for me to see because, he was like a big brother growing up. My uncle was always there. I was always spending the night with him and doing things when I was a kid, and I love him very dearly, and it's just hard to see him suffer. And just that stress, and just the stress of being in business. We had a great week. Nothing to be upset about. Nothing to really be stressed about as far as that goes. Just the general stresses of business. Trying to get over being sick. I feel like I finally got rid of that cough, and the chest congestion is gone. So this weight loss journey is only part of my life. I've got this whole other dynamic of hosting comedy shows and just personal experiences and my love to travel and everyday business. But this mental thing, man, I can't shake it. It's like that and a combination of like depression that just tries to creep in and ruin everything. I've got this constant voice in my head that's telling me that weigh-in day I'm gonna fail, and I've gained weight. This week, regardless to the fact that I've been under budget on my calories all week long, I've done really, really well. The fact that I didn't get to go to the gym this week because of coughing my brains out really, really like affected my mental well-being, because I want to drive myself for a better life, and not being able to get in there just made me feel fat all week, like just heavy and not productive. And I know that's not the case. The scale shows that I'm still going the right direction. Everything's going the right. It's just a mental thing. It's a mental battle that I didn't anticipate. I thought the trouble this time, the trouble like it is for everybody, for every time I've ever attempted something like this. Uh, the the struggle's always been with not eating shit I'm not supposed to, and that's not the trouble. That's not the trouble right now, anyway. At this point in my journey, at about 5 months in, is roughly where I'm at. And right now, it's mental struggles, and I think it's a lot of outside factors. Um, and right now, the weak piece of my armor is this diet. So I feel like, or is this lifestyle change? So I feel like the sad feelings and the depression and the stress, I think that's where it's trying to get me at. It's trying to get me at. It's trying to get me. I'm not, I don't feel like cheating. I don't feel like going out and eating my emotions. I just bummed, I should be fucking extremely happy today. I lost another 2 pounds, which is all the doctors really want you to lose per week, but unless you're in my situation where you're morbidly obese and your life kind of depends on it. So I'd like to see something more like the 5 pounds a week range on an average, which I guess if you go back and you figure in all my weight losses per week, they probably average out pretty close, because I've got some 10, 9 and 10 pound weeks, which I don't know. The body's weird, man. Like I've worked harder on my diet this week than I have in previous weeks and lost less. And I don't know, maybe it's just directly to do with physical activity and things like that. And just, I'm sure if I went back and weighed myself this afternoon after my metabolism got going and I started on my day, that I'd probably weigh something completely different. So who knows? But 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Listen, I'm working on a little project for my uncle. It's a little secret project. I don't know if you guys had seen this little boy Wyatt that just passed away last night from cancer. He had a really, really rough battle of brain and spinal cancer. And he passed away at 7/17 last night. And they started this movement for him called Burnouts for Wyatt. And people would videotape submissions of themselves doing burnouts, and they'd dedicate it to little Wyatt. They'd send him a little message, and his family would let him watch and read all the updates. And it was really kind of an awesome thing. People pulled together in all forms of motoring communities, from motorcycles to diesel trucks to race cars, regular everyday pickup trucks, and all over the world, Australia, everywhere. And they were sending these videos to this little boy, which is his final wish. And even police officers. There's some cool videos of cops doing smoky donuts and stuff like that. It's really neat. Well, one of my fondest memories that I have with my Uncle Timmy growing up is going out in his hot rod, El Camino, with the big slot wheels on the back, and he would take me out. We'd go do burnouts. One time he drove up a road that kind of goes up and over a levee, and he rolled up to the top, and then he clicked her in neutral and let it roll backwards, and then right before he got to the bottom, he just punched it and burned out all the way back up to the top. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if he remembers that, but I definitely do, because I was a little boy, and I don't know, I was probably 10 to 13 years old, somewhere around there. I remember those things. He was big into cars. He was always fixing cars up, and trading old backyard hot rods and little budget builds and garage projects and stuff like that. And it's one of the reasons that I'm so into cars now. is because it's been all around. It's been around me for my whole life. I want to do that for Timmy. I want to do that. I'm asking all my friends to videotape their burnouts, and in that videotape, I want you to, and just film it with your phone, and shout out, say, hey, this is for you, Timmy, and then do your burnout, and then send it to me in private message on Facebook and Messenger. And I'm going to compile all those, and I'm going to put them on one big video. I'm also going to do a live event where I'm going to take volunteers here in the next week or two. I'm still looking for a location that we can safely do this without getting in trouble with the police and vandalizing someone's parking lot. But yeah, I want to do this. I want to do burnouts for my Uncle Timmy, and Megan from Meggie Me Productions is going to come out and videographer. She's going to shoot the live event, and we're going to dedicate it to my uncle, and then we're going to put all of the submissions that I get on in Messenger from my friends at the end of the video. So hopefully, I can make this dedication video to him and put a smile on his face and let him know that we're thinking about him, and that he's not alone in this journey. This horrible shit that he never asked for. So sorry to get all sappy and cryy and everything, but it's just a lot of stress on my family and me personally. I'm just dealing with it, pretty difficultly, and it's kind of affecting my positive mood and my psyche. So, one of the things I promised about these videos was that I was going to be honest, that I was going to share my real feelings and not be afraid of my emotions, and give you the real feelings of what I'm going through. And I know that, some of the stuff like my uncle's cancer doesn't have anything to do with my diet, which is why a lot of you are watching this. But it definitely affects things. And I want you to realistically understand that the stresses in your life not only make you retain weight for whatever reason, but they affect your physical well-being, and it plays an impact on your success or your non-success of whatever journey you're going through, whether it be fighting alcoholism, drugs, or obesity. I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm inspiring to them and everything else, and I really appreciate it, but it's just super difficult for me to accept all the kind words and compliments. It's not something I'm used to. I'm not used to winning, and I don't know what to say. I appreciate every one of you, and it's humbling to hear. It's hard to absorb it. It doesn't feel like this is me that's taking this journey. It feels like I'm watching myself take it. It's kind of a strange thing to say, but it's kind of out of body. But I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep losing. I desperately want to live life on a positive note. I want to live life for experiences, not material things. Although I do love my new Impala, I have to say. Little things that make you happy. I want to travel more. I want to hug more. I want to love more. I want my family to put down their petty differences and come together in a time that we should be coming together. I just, I don't know what to say. I love you, each and every one of you. You keep me motivated. Guys, hug the ones you love. Be careful who you kiss. And remember, life is so fucking short and precious. Enjoy every last minute. Peace out.